For today's tutorial, we are making our Leggy Frog Santa, so make sure you guys stay tuned and grab your hooks and your yarn and get comfy because he is the perfect addition for your guys' Christmas. Okay, I'm going to be doing it a little bit differently than I normally do for tutorials. I've had quite a few people message me and ask me to slow them down, which thank you so much. I appreciate all the feedback as much as you guys possibly can. So please keep leaving it either in the comments below or direct message me. So today I'm going to be going a little bit slower than I normally do in my tutorials, and let me know if you guys like it and I will continue to do that. You are going to chain. So this is how I chain. Just holding it here, you flip it, and then you grab the small one and pull it through, so it's a little slip knot. Okay, so now that you have your slip knot, you are going to chain 10. So here's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. And so now from here for row number 2, you are going to be doing 9 single crochet this way, and then we are going to be crocheting 9 on the back for row number 2. So here is 1, 2, 3, and a single crochet is when you go inside your loop, yarn over or under, whichever way you prefer, pull it through just that one, and then yarn over and pull it through 2. So I believe we're on 4 now. 5, 6, 7, 8, and 9. And now we're going to start working on the other side. I don't do any increases or chains or anything. We just start single crocheting straight over. So there's 10, 11, 12, and I personally like to go over the tail a little bit, just so it's a little bit more secure. You don't have to do that, you can weave it in later, but this is just skipping a step. There's 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, and 18. Okay, so this is your personal preference. You can use a stitch marker if you'd like. I'm just going to be using it for the sake of the video. I'm going to be honest, I do not use it in almost everything I make, but just for the video for you guys, I will. So now what we are going to do is we are going to do a single crochet and a bobble stitch. So do your single crochet and put your stitch marker right in that single crochet you just made. Close, there we go. And now your bobble stitch. So a bobble stitch is where you do an almost double crochet, but you stop halfway. And then you insert your hook in that same stitch and do it again. Yarn over and pull through 2. Now stop. Yarn over, go through, yarn over, and pull through 2. So that was 3. I personally like to do at least 4, sometimes 5, but for right now, since we're using a 4mm hook, we're only going to do 4. So after you finish your 4th double crochet unfinished, you're going to yarn over and pull through all of those loops. And that was 2. And now we are going to be doing 5 single crochet. So there's 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. And now we're going to be doing another bobble stitch. So there's 1, yarn over, go through your stitch, pull through, yarn over, and go through 2, yarn over, go through your stitch, pull through, yarn over, pull through 3, yarn over, go through your stitch, pull through, yarn over, and then you're going to finish it off for 4. Was finishing stitch number 8, and so now for the next 10 stitches we are just going to do single crochet until we get back to our stitch marker. So there's 9. After I do the bobble stitches too, I kind of like to fluff them up a little bit, which I just pinch between the 2 bobble stitches and shimmy it just so they pop out a little bit more. You don't have to do this step right now, you can always do it later too. Okay. So 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, and 18. So now we're going to take out our stitch marker, and for rows 4 and 5 we are going to be doing 18 single crochet. So you're going to insert through your stitch, pull through, yarn over, and pull through both, and that was our first single crochet. Oopsies. So there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18. That was row 4. Now we're going to start row 5. So there's 1. This is why I don't like using stitch markers. I can never get them to like work. Okay. That was 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, and 18. So here we are going to be fixing this last stitch in just a second, but just for the sake of the video, we're going to leave it like this for right now because I want to add the eyes. Okay, I don't have the proper backings for these, but we shall see because these look pretty good. So we'll see if these backings fit. Ooh! So this last single crochet we did, we want to color change in. And I just kind of like to stop at that point right there just so I don't mix up the coloring and I don't lose a stitch. But now you are going to grab your red which my red is kind of like a yarn barf over here in the corner. I apologize. And now just color change. So for those of you who don't know how to color change, you're just here with your single crochet unfinished. You pulled through, you want to yarn over with your green, but don't yarn over with your green. You're going to take your red and yarn over with your red, or pinch it through like this, and then pull it through. That is it. That now we just color change, and we are going to start working on the arms. The arm, you are going to single crochet 1, and again I like to weave in everything now, so make sure both of these are in between your original stitch and through in your hook. So you're going to yarn over and pull through. So there's your first single stitch that we've done. Okay. From here you want to chain 10 in red. So you're going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And now you're going to grab your black, because we got to make his gloves, and you're going to pull it through to color change just how we did before. So there's 11, 12, and 13. You're doing 3 chains with black. And so now you are going to slip stitch down 2. They're both going to be in the black. There's 1. Well, I guess the second one's going to be half black, half red. And 2. Again, I'm going to weave this in, so that's what you're going to see here. I'm not going to explain it because it's kind of going to get jumbled in my mouth. I won't be able to explain it properly, so just, you're going to have to watch. I apologize. So you're going to chain 2. So there's 1 and 2. Now you're going to slip stitch 2. So 1's going to be in the black. So there's 1. And then 1 is going to be in that original slip stitch that we did with the other black. 2. And then again, we're going to chain 2. So there's 1 and 2. And then slip stitch down to exactly how we just did it. So 1 in the black for 1. And then 1 with all the other ones, but instead of yarning over and slip stitching with the black, we're going to put it down and slip stitch with the red. So you're going to pull for 2. And now we're done with this black. Kind of leave a little bit of a tail just so you have something to work with when you are sewing, because you want to weave and sew this in later just so it is going to stay in his glove and hand are not going to fall apart. But now you are going to do 10 slip stitches down. 9 will be in the chain that we made, and 1 is going to go back into the body where we originally did our single crochet. You guys are going to hear my cat if you already haven't. He's munching down right next to me. So here is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and 9. And for number 9, for the single crochet into the base, we are going to be color changing with green. So that was our number 10. And now we are going to do 8 single crochet. So the red one here is already 1. So there is 2, 3, 4, and then before I finish doing this one, I kind of like to drag this over just so I know it's not going to be awkward, if that makes sense. So there's 5, 6, 7, 8, and number 9 we are color changing to red. So there's 9. And now we're going to do a single crochet in red. And do exactly what we did on the other side to this side to make his other arm. So we're going to chain 10. So there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Now we're going to take our black and chain 3. So now there is 1, 2, and 3. So slip stitch down 1, slip stitch down 2, and then weave this in as you go like we did on the other side, or you can just leave the string out and weave it in later. So now you're going to chain 2. So there's 1, 2. Now you're going to slip stitch down 1 into the black, and then 1 with that original slip stitch, 2, and then again chain 2. So there's 1, 2, and then slip stitch down 1, and then slip stitch originally where all the other slip stitches are, but you're going to let go of the black, and you're going to slip stitch with your red for 2. And now fasten off. So now slip stitch down 9. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and 9, and then your number 10 slip stitching right where that original single crochet is, but you're going to let go of the red. You're going to pick up the green. And then I do again like to lock this in next time, because you can't lock it in with a single or with a slip stitch. You have to do it with a single crochet. So now we are going to finish the back, which is just 8 single crochet. So lock it in, which you're just single crocheting over. So there was 1, which is technically 11 if you want to count all of the front, but we don't have to get there. So there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and last one. Okay. So for the next 2 rounds, we are going to be doing 18 single crochet with red. So make your original slip stitch, or single crochet. Okay, so there's 1, and that is the only single crochet you will be doing on the side of the arm. So I just kind of fold it back and up, and you're going to be working now into that green. And single crochet for 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and single crochet 10 in front of the arm, and then flip it up, and you're going to go back for the green space right here. $12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, and 18. And now you're going to go to your next one, single crochet for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, so there's 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, and 18. And one more round in red. I know I said only 2. I was wrong. I apologize. You're going to be doing 3. Everything will also be written down here in the corner. But one more round of red. 18 single stitches. So there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, and before you finish this last one, we are going to color change to white. So grab your white, and you're going to go 18, possibly. There we go, 18. So there is 1. Grab your stitch marker. We'll be doing 5 single crochet in white. So we already did our 1. So there's 2, 3, 4, and 5. Before you finish it, you are going to color change to black, because we got to do his little belt buckle. So there is 5, and you're going to do 2 single crochet in black. So that was 6, and now you're going to color change on 7. 7. And now you're going to do 11 in white. So there's 8. 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, and the last one, we are color changing to red again. So 18. And so now after that, this is what he should be looking like. Minus all the black little fuzzies everywhere, but you got your little belt buckle, his little belt, his shirt. I will be cleaning these up at the end, so don't worry about these for right now, but we are now going to fasten off our white and our black. And I already yarned over these, so these will not be budging. These are the ones that we are going to be fixing. These are just going now to be stuffing. So now from here, we are going to be doing the next 2 rounds with the red color. So 18 single crochet in red. So there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, whoopsies, 6, oops, 7, I come in here and pull these tight so they don't show through, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, and 18. So single crochet for 1. And now we're going to go 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, and 18. Our little froggy Santa is looking super cute. Okay, so now this next row is actually going to be our very last row. He's almost finished, so you should have 3 rows of red, 1 white, and then 2 rows of red, and then you're going to have 1 more row of red. So it should be even 3, 1, and 3. So we want it to match up, and you should only do 2 single crochet. So here is 1 and 2. And if you fold it, this little bump of this arm should match up with the bump of the crochet that you just made. I almost forgot my whatever this is called. I completely forgot. Stitch marker. There we go. Okay, so now again we are going to do chain 10. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. And then color change to black. And then 3 chains. So there's 1, 2, and 3. And now you're going to slip stitch down 2 So here is 1, oh, maybe. So there's 1, and then slip stitch down 2. And now you're going to chain 2. So there's 1, 2. And now slip stitch down 2. So you're going to go in through that 1 slip stitch and 1, and then into the one that has all of them originally. So 2. And now chain 2, 1, 2, and slip stitch down 2. So here's 1, and then back originally, but we are not going to be going over with the black. We are going to go with the red for that last slip stitch. 2. And then again, fasten off, and we will be weaving that in very shortly. Now we are going to be doing 9 slip stitches down. So there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and 9 right there. And now we are going to do 1 more slip stitch into that original stitch with that single crochet. The reason why I do that, it just makes sure there's no hole for later on. So now we are going to be doing 9 single crochet. So we already did our 2, so here is 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, maybe, there we go, 9, 10, and 11. And again, when you fold it, it should match up. I'm going to chain 10. So there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. And now you're going to color change and chain 3. So there's 1, 2, 3. And then you guessed it, we are going to slip stitch down 2. So there's 1 and 2, and then chain 2. So 1 and 2. Now slip stitch back down. So there's 1 and 2. Ooh, that threw me off there for a second. And then you're going to chain 2. So 1 and 2. And now your last 2 slip stitches for his foot. So 1 in black, 1, and then 1 in red, and 2. So fasten off black for the last time. And now you are going to chain 10, the last one being with that single crochet at the very bottom that we originally started. So there's 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and then 10. And now we are going to be doing 7 single crochet just to get back to the very end. So there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. And after that, I do single crochet to the back of the leg, so I do an extra 2 stitches. That is just for me to have a clean start when I go to sew. So now you're going to fasten off and leave a long tail because we are sewing. And before we do so, you want to get your stuffing and stuff your froggy. So now we are going to sew him shut. And so how I like to do this is I just go in the front loops of each of them, but I go back and forth. So I just went over here, and now I'm going to go in the front loop here. And now we're going to go in the front loop here. You guys can sew it shut however you like. This is just how I personally like to do it. There we go. Now we are going to do the same thing with his hands. Just weave them in the black part only. Just so it's not going to go anywhere, and that when you are ready to cut it off, like, it will be all weaved in and all nice. So you can trim it. I also do kind of like to hide the little white parts on the red parts on the back of his hands, just from slip stitching. I know it happens and it's completely normal, but it bothers me. I have no idea what happened to my actual scissors I use. My kids' scissors work just as well. It's gonna be a little froggy for them, so any of the glue that you see on here, it's completely fine. Alright, and there is our little Santa froggy. So now I am going to go and show you how to make his little hat. But first, let's embroider on his mouth. So just get any cotton yarn, and what you're going to do is you're going to just come out of one random stitch and then go to about where you want his smile, and you want to make it a straight line but come down towards his shirt to make like a V. So here's a straight line, and now we're going to go up underneath, pull through, and then go back through that little stitch you just did, and then pull tight. And there's his little smile. You guys can also make him angry or give him little eyebrows. Normally I have found with eyebrows they do look a little bit more angry than normal. But I just like to triple knot it, and then we're just gonna hide them. I am going to grab some of my white and cotton, and just to give him his little smile, like, sparkle a little bit better, we're gonna go around his eyes to make his eyes pop. So again, and through a random stitch, and then get as closest to his eye as you possibly can. And then you want to go a little bit more than halfway around. And then just pull tight. You want to make sure it also stays on that side of his eye. It's giving me a run for my money tonight. There we go. There we go. I kind of tucked it up underneath, as you can tell, and then we're going to do the same thing to the other side. Trying to make it as even as you possibly can. Oops. There we go. And do the same thing. You want to tie it off and then tuck it in. Okay, now let's move on to his hat. Do your magic circle, again pinch and make your X. Oh, I'm shaking. Go underneath and pull that top one, and then yarn over and pull that top one again. So now we are just going to be doing 3 single crochet. So there's 1, 2, and 3. And now for row number 2, you're going to be doing an increase in all of them. So you're going to be doing 3 increases. So an increase is just a single crochet. And then do another single crochet in that same stitch. So that was 2. And now you're going to go to the next stitch, single crochet for 3, and then again single crochet in that same stitch for 4, and then again last one, single crochet for 1, do it again for the increased. So now we have 6. Completely forgot my stitch markers, you guys. I'm so sorry. Okay, so here is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. For round number 3, do another 6 single crochet. So there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. We are going to be doing 2 single stitches and then an increase 2 times to get to 8. So there's 1 single stitch, 2 single stitch, and now your increase. So there's 3, 4, and now 1, 2, 3, 4. To do 8 increases all the way around. So we're going to be having 16. So here's your first single crochet. So there's 1, 2, oops, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, and 16. Trust the process. It will be looking something like this. I know it looks super funky, but we are going to be like sewing this part down. Okay. So from here, and then our last increase, we are actually going to be color changing. So now get your white. And color change. And that is all of the, that is all of the red we are going to be using, so you can fasten off now. I am no longer going to use a stitch marker because the white is going to pretty much be the stitch marker. We are going to be doing a bobble stitch and a single crochet 8 times. So there is 1, just kind of how we did with his eyes. So there's our first bobble stitch and our single crochet. So there is 2. Our next bobble stitch. So there is 3. And 4. Five and 6. Seven, 8. 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, Now this is going to be your last increase and your last bobble stitch. There's 15 and 16. So now you want to leave like an extremely long piece of yarn. There we go. Because we are not only going to be sewing this part on, but we are also going to be creating another bobble stitch for the tip of his hat. So from here, I do like, there we go. I do like to kind of slip stitch the yarn into this just to pull it tighter together. And then now go into the tip of the hat. And you're going to grab that yarn and pull it through. Ooh. Now that you're here, you are going to do a chain. That's what you would call it. You want to chain it in. And now you're going to do a bobble stitch right where you made that chain in the red. And 4. And now from here, we are going to sew this last little bobble stitch down to the hat. And then you also want to decide which way you want your hat to kind of curve. Mine's kind of naturally going one way. So I'm going to go with it and I'm not going to fight it. And you're just going to sew it down to the side. So doing that, tighten the little ball. And now you're here. So I'm going to take it from about 1 or 2 stitches, go down, like around, and then again to the top of this one bobble stitch over to where the other single crochet would be. And then you want to pull it. And then do that again after it's already kind of fallen. And then go down and pull it, just so it is slanted. So there's the little Santa hat. And now you're just going to grab your little Santa. Either you could just kind of fasten off and weave in the ends so you can take it on and off, but I'm going to sew it onto him. Which way? No, we're gonna go this way. I think that looks pretty good. The way you want to sew it on is going to help accent the little bobble stitches as well. So I'm going to, that looks good right there. I'm going to start sewing a little bit behind his eye. And now you're going to go into that last single crochet. Go over. And now you're going to completely miss this bobble stitch and not sew it in and just go over to the next single crochet. And pull it tight. And now you can kind of see that little bobble stitch is popping out a lot more than compared to here. And you're gonna continue to do that. Just going around his head. And then again, the Santa hat stuffing is optional. Since it is so small, I am honestly not going to stuff it because it does already feel pretty sturdy, but go with how you feel. If you want to stuff it, even if it's stuffing very lightly, go for it. It's your little froggy. Oops. And then this pattern is also the pattern that I use for all of my other frogs as well. Just do it one solid color, and I normally use a 5mm hook. But for this little Santa guy, I was thinking of sticking him in the tree for my kids to play with. Ooh. And now just weave it in, just so it's not going to fall off. And there you have it. There is our little Santa frog. I might add like a little peppermint to this little guy just for him to have something to hold. But here he is. He is great for Christmas. He can get onto any backpacks, hug on the tree, whatever you guys want him to do. Thank you guys so much for watching my tutorial. And if you like what you saw here, make sure you hit that like and subscribe button for more.